Hello and happy April. I hope everybody is doing well. April is a very important month. Spring is going to be starting. There is an election in Canada that is going to be happening. And there are tariffs that have already started with Canada from China. Those are already in effect. And tariffs from the US are coming into effect tomorrow. So Canadians are a little bit unease. Americans are also kind of feeling the same thing. There's this thing in the US called a wealth effect. And that is basically the wealthier that people feel, then the more money that they spend. And it would appear that this wealth effect has been decreasing. And I would say that that's been happening in Canada as well. But Canada's is mostly attached to real estate as far as our wealth factor is concerned. Anyway, the whole point of that is that we expect that with prices decreasing a little bit, all this uncertainty in the market, we anticipate that people will be spending less. And as a result, this will have an impact on retail sales, which will also have an impact on GDP. And for Canada, unfortunately, we are doing really, really bad as far as GDP is concerned, and we're only above Luxembourg, but we're pretty much last as far as the G7 and then the G20 countries in the world. So this, despite this all sounding like bad news, is actually good news for mortgage holders and for mortgage rates and for the mortgage business. Rates have been dropping in the last little bit. There's a lot of different promos that are happening. And so the rates are not just necessarily right across the board. You have to qualify for some of them. There are a lot of new rules that have come into effect in the last several months, and a lot of people are calling confused. Oh, I heard about this and I heard about that. And I'm noticing that people only have half of the information, not necessarily all of it. And when you think about everything, if people only have half of the information, then that's a little bit worrisome. So I'm recommending that people really take the time to review their documents, review what the new rules are, and then really taking a look, how does that impact you? Is your mortgage coming up for maturity? Are you a little bit worried about your job? Maybe it's a great time to refinance earlier rather than later, and consolidating maybe all the debt and just getting ready for what is likely going to be coming in the near future. I want to keep this video short. There's so much going on, and it's just so hard to talk about everything. But one of the things that I do want to leave you with, and I'll probably bring it up over the next several weeks, is we do have an election coming up at the end of the month. And if there's one thing that I would love to see Canada and all its citizens do, is rise to the occasion and vote. This is probably the best way to have Canadians have their voices heard. And when we vote, it is the way that we communicate to the rest of the country that this is what we want. So to me, it doesn't matter who you vote for. I'm not swaying one way or another. I am just begging everybody to go out there and vote, please. It's something that I hold near and dear to my heart, having studied political science. The other part of my degree is law and society. And so all these policies that our government puts in place does have an impact on the Canadian economy, and at the end of the day trickles down. And so we really want to take a look at, how much better off do you feel in comparison to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and even 20 years ago? And look inside and then go show up and vote. That's my 2 cents worth. For those of you that have a mortgage, or you're concerned about your finances, or you're concerned about your debt, please give me a call. Let's go through all of your numbers, all of your documents, and let's get you ready for what is coming ahead. Have yourselves a great day. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next week.